There is a kind of person who does not speak loudly. They do not walk fast. They do not dominate the room with noise, and yet the moment they step in, everything changes. The atmosphere softens. Conversations slow. People begin to feel more aware, more present. This is the power of stillness. Stillness is not about doing nothing. It is about being everything, but in balance. It is the complete alignment of your breath, your mind, and your spirit. And when you cultivate this stillness, you become magnetic. You do not need to perform. You do not need to convince anyone of your worth. Your calm speaks before you do. In the Shaolin temple, we are taught that the most powerful force is the one that doesn't struggle. The river flows not by pushing but by surrendering to its path. And yet, it shapes mountains. Stillness is like that. It does not rush. It does not seek. And yet, it transforms the space around it. People drawn to you in your stillness are not reacting to your appearance. They are responding to your energy. This presence cannot be faked. It cannot be manufactured. It must be lived. The modern world teaches us the opposite. Be fast, be loud, be seen. But all that effort to impress drains your energy and disconnects you from your center. The result is anxiety masked as ambition, noise disguised as confidence. But true confidence is quiet. Stillness does not mean passivity. It means intention. You move when it's time to move. You speak when there is something meaningful to say. You pause when others panic, and you remain rooted when others are shaken. Ask yourself this: how do I enter a room? Do I carry tension in my shoulders, a racing mind, or a need to be seen? Or do I bring peace? Because confidence is not a costume. It is a frequency. A confident man or woman moves with grace, not arrogance, with calm, not chaos. When you are truly still inside, people feel safe around you. You are not trying to impress them. You are not demanding attention. And because of this, they give it to you freely. Begin practicing this today. The next time you walk into a room, breathe deep, feel your feet on the ground. Lower your shoulders. Be aware of your surroundings, not for the sake of being impressive, but to merge with the moment. Smile gently. Let your presence whisper what words never could. I am here, fully, calmly, completely. And in that stillness, people will be drawn to you. There is a kind of eye contact that doesn't seek approval. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't try to overpower or impress. It simply sees clearly, quietly, confidently. This is the gaze of someone who is at peace with themselves. In a world where people often look away out of fear or look too long out of insecurity, there is great power in meeting someone's eyes with calm presence, not to stare, not to judge, but to simply connect. This is one of the most silent yet powerful signs of confidence. You see, the eyes do not lie. They are windows to the soul. And when the soul is calm, the gaze becomes steady, not frozen, not forceful, but open, receptive, grounded. Have you ever spoken to someone who truly sees you, not in a way that makes you feel examined, but in a way that makes you feel accepted? That's the energy we are speaking of. That is what draws people in, because it is so rare. Most people are not present in their gaze. Their eyes flicker around, chasing approval, dodging discomfort, or calculating judgment. But the confident person, the grounded monk, sees without grasping. They are not scanning for validation. They are not playing a role. Their attention is not fragmented. Their gaze says, I see you, and I am not afraid. This type of eye contact communicates something deeper than words ever could: self-acceptance. When you are no longer in conflict with yourself, you no longer project that conflict outward. You no longer need to dominate or shrink. You can simply be, and from that place of being, your eyes begin to mirror clarity, peace, and strength. But this kind of eye contact cannot be rehearsed. It cannot be forced. If your mind is racing, if your ego is active, your eyes will reveal that. That's why monks train not just the body, but the mind, because only a calm mind can produce a calm gaze. So how do you cultivate this gaze? Begin with yourself. Look in the mirror, not to criticize, but to connect. Gaze into your own eyes and ask, can I meet myself without judgment? Can I see myself as I am, without wishing to be something else? This is the training ground. When you become comfortable with your own eyes, with your own truths, you will automatically bring that same presence to others. Your gaze will shift from trying to get something to simply giving something your attention, your presence, your peace, and people will feel it. They will feel safer around you, more seen, more heard, more accepted. Because when your eyes reflect self-acceptance, others begin to accept themselves too. That is the true power of confidence. It's not just how you make others see you, it's how you help them see themselves. So the next time you meet someone's gaze, do not try to impress them. Just be present. Let your stillness speak. Let your eyes reflect the peace within you. That is the gaze of the grounded. That is the silent sign of a confident soul. You can tell a lot about a person not by what they say, but by how they stand, how they sit, how they walk when no one is watching. This is posture, and posture, whether you realize it or not, is a language, a silent declaration of what you believe about yourself. A confident person does not need to puff their chest or exaggerate their movements. Their body speaks quietly but firmly. There is no rush in their step, no collapse in their shoulders. They walk in alignment, not just physically but spiritually, and that quiet alignment is what draws people in. In the monastery, posture is not about formality, it is about presence. Every movement is a reflection of your inner state. Are you slouched and stiff because you're burdened with worry? Or are you upright and relaxed, anchored in the now? These are questions monks ask daily, not to appear impressive, but to remain in balance. You see, true confidence does not express itself in exaggerated gestures. It does not scream for attention. It whispers, I am here, I am grounded, I need nothing from you. And this whisper is more powerful than any roar. Many people misunderstand posture. They think it's about looking dominant or physically larger, but that is just performance. Real posture, real body presence begins inside. It is the byproduct of a calm mind and a settled heart. When your breath is deep, your spine naturally rises. When your thoughts are still, your limbs move with grace. There is no tension, only quiet clarity. Let me give you an example. When a monk walks, there is no wasted step. Each foot lands with mindfulness. Each movement is a continuation of inner peace. They are not trying to get somewhere fast. They are already here in that very step, that very moment. This is the secret of posture. It's not about the destination, it's about the awareness in every gesture. And this awareness, this embodied mindfulness, radiates outward. People may not consciously notice it, but they feel it. They sense the ease in your shoulders, the calm in your walk, the strength in your stillness. Now ask yourself, how do I move when I'm alone? How do I sit when I'm not being observed? That is where your true confidence lives, or doesn't begin to train in these unnoticed moments. Straighten your spine not to appear taller, but to allow your energy to rise. Relax your shoulders not to look cooler, but to release unnecessary tension. And above all, walk with intention. Every step is a message. Every movement is an invitation. When your posture aligns with your presence becomes unforgettable. So remember, you do not need to shout to be heard. Sometimes all it takes is how you stand, how you breathe, how you carry your being in this world. In that silence, people will follow your movement without ever hearing a word. In today's world, where everyone wants to speak, few know how to listen. But among the truly confident, there is a profound ability not to be loud, but to be fully present in silence. And this silence is not empty. It is not passive. It is the most active form of awareness, the art of listening. Listening is not just about hearing words. It is about receiving energy. It is about making someone feel seen, felt, and understood without trying to fix them, outsmart them, or compare stories. That kind of listening is rare. That kind of listening is magnetic. A confident person does not interrupt to prove a point. They do not just to appear polite. They are not formulating their reply while you are still speaking. Instead, they are rooted in the now. Their eyes remain calm, their posture open, their energy still. Why? Because a confident person does not feel threatened by silence. They do not rush to fill the space because they are not trying to impress you. They are simply being with you. And in that space, something extraordinary happens. Trust is born. You see, people are not used to being truly heard. Most of us live in a constant state of being judged, ignored, or misunderstood. So when you meet someone who actually listens, without ego, without agenda, you lean in, you open up, you soften. And that person becomes unforgettable. This is one of the most silent signs of confidence, the ability to hold space for others. In the monastery, we are taught that wisdom begins with listening. Before speaking, we must absorb. Before offering advice, we must understand. Silence, therefore, is not weakness. It is preparation, it is strength under control. If you observe a confident person in conversation, you'll notice something unique. They ask questions not to trap, but to explore. They pause before responding, not to calculate, but to reflect. And when they do speak, their words are thoughtful, not many, but meaningful. This balance between listening and speaking comes from inner security. Only those who do not fear being forgotten are capable of letting others shine. Only those who do not crave validation can listen without distraction. So how can you practice this? Start with the next conversation you have. Turn off your inner narrator. Don't wait for your chance to speak. Just listen, not with judgment, with curiosity, not with distraction, with full attention, and observe what happens. People will feel the difference. They will feel respected, valued, safe, not because you said something brilliant, but because you offered something rare, your undivided presence. This is the kind of presence that does not need to shout. It does not need to perform. It simply listens. And in doing so, it draws people in. So let the world speak. You listen. And in your silence, you will speak louder than any voice in the room. The world teaches us to do more actions, more noise, more visibility. But confidence, true, quiet confidence, is not found in doing more. It is revealed in knowing when to do less, in knowing when to be still, in knowing that presence, not performance, is what draws people in. There is a principle. Monks live by economy of energy. Every movement should have meaning, every word purpose, every breath awareness. You do not rush, you do not flail, you do not act for the sake of acting. You move with intention, and that intention becomes magnetic. Many people confuse activity with power. They believe that confidence must look like dominance, like control, like constant contribution. But oftentimes those who are always speaking, always proving, always trying to be seen, are the ones running from their own silence. Confidence is not loud. Confidence is not desperate. Confidence is complete. So ask yourself this: are your actions coming from fullness or from fear? Do you speak because you truly have something to say, or because you are afraid of being forgotten? Do you engage because it's aligned, or because you feel the need to constantly be on? When you observe a confident person, what stands out is not their activity, it's their restraint. They are not reactive, they are selective. Their power is not spread thin, it is concentrated, and in that concentration lies their influence. They know this truth: energy is sacred. They do not offer opinions on everything. They do not insert themselves in every conflict. They do not chase every opportunity. Instead, they operate with a deep sense of sufficiency. I do not need to chase because I already am. And this already am is the real power. It creates an aura, a gravitational pull. People lean toward it because it feels safe, it feels real, it feels still. In a time where everyone is exhausting themselves trying to be seen, you become radiant by being whole, not by pushing outward, but by settling inward, not by expanding noise, but by refining signal. This does not mean you become passive. It means you become purposeful. Like a Shaolin master, every gesture is a reflection of inner mastery. Every step is firm, every silence intentional. And when you speak, because you will, your words land deeply, not because you speak often, but because when you do, they come from stillness, from clarity, from power that doesn't need to announce itself. So begin to conserve your energy. Pull it back from distractions. Withdraw it from people-pleasing. Stop scattering it for validation. Instead, bring it home, to your breath, to your posture, to your presence. And then, let it guide you. Let it move you not toward being seen, but toward being real. Because in the end, it is not the person who speaks the most who is remembered. It is the one who acted with stillness, who moved with clarity, who didn't waste their energy trying to be everything, and instead became someone unforgettable. Do less, be more. That is the monk's path. That is silent confidence.